Suppose we perform a collision experiment using the Velcro grip glider of figure 8.10. As an example, 8.4 glider A has a mass of 0.50 kilograms and glider B has a mass of 0.30. Both move with an initial speed of 2.0 meters per second. We have to find the final velocity of the joined gliders and compare the initial and final kinetic energies. So we have two gliders. I have two gliders. Glider A, which has a velocity initial on the x component of 2.0. Let's move into the right. And its mass is 0.50 kilograms. We have glider B, which has a mass of 0.30, and its initial velocity on the x component is minus 2.0 meters per second because it's moving to the left, right? So after they collide with each other, they're gonna move A and B. They're gonna move at a final velocity, which we're supposed to find. Momentum before is gonna be equals to the momentum after they collide with each other. We know that the momentum before is equals to the 0.50 times 2, which is the glider A, plus the 0.30 from B times its velocity, which is minus 2.0. After, which is going to be the mass of the system, times the velocity of the system, which we're supposed to find. And the mass of the system is going to be equals to 0.50 from A plus 0.30 from B. This is going to give us velocity. So there's going to be 0.50 to plus 0.30 minus 2 equals to 0.80 times the velocity of the system. The velocity of the system is going to be equals to 0.50. That's going to be the final velocity of the joint gliders. Now let's find the kinetic energy for both gliders so we can compare them. Kinetic energy for glider A, which is going to be its initial kinetic energy, half of its mass times the initial velocity, the x component, of course, to the second. That's going to be equals to half 0.50 to the second. It's going to be equals to 1.0, right? So kinetic energy for glider B. Here's the glider B. Is going to be equals to 1.5 mass of B times the velocity, the initial velocity of B, of course. Equals 1/2 0.30. This is minus 2 to the second, which is 0.60. We have initial velocity, initial kinetic energy for A, initial kinetic energy for B. The kinetic our initial kinetic energy of the system is going to be the sum of both initial kinetic energies for the glider. And that's going to give us 1.6 joule. Now let's find the final kinetic energy for each one of them. So the final kinetic energy for the system, because we don't need to find it individually, since we already have the mass of the system, of the velocities of the system, we can find the final kinetic energy of the system, which is going to be equals to 1.5 the mass of the system times the velocity, or the final velocity of the system. So the second final kinetic energy of the system is going to be equals to 0.80 times 0.50 to the second of final kinetic energy. It's going to be 0.10 joules. This is our final kinetic energy for the system. So our initial kinetic energy is going to be greater than our final kinetic energy. Example 8.9. Gliders. Kinetic energy